Welcome to the Leadership Spark podcast, where we equip you to be the great leader your people deserve. This is Corey and Hampton, and today we're going to continue our conversation about what makes a team extraordinary. Yesterday, we talked about the definition of a team, really to lay the foundation of this idea of extraordinary teams. And we said there are 5 pillars. There are 5 components or 5 elements or 5 characteristics of great teams or extraordinary teams that are always present. And so we're going to spend the next 5 days taking them one by one, giving you the idea, the concept of what it means, and then also giving you some ideas on what it looks like to activate that into action on your team. And so, Hampton, let's start with the first one, which if you don't have this one, the other ones are very, very hard to come by. But the first one is that great teams, extraordinary teams, develop authentic relationships. Why in the world is that important if a team wants to be extraordinary?
Before I even talk about it, I just know that there's people hearing this that possibly just rolled their eyes. Come on, it's work. We know what we need to do. We show up, we get things done. I've got my friends outside of work. Everybody kind of has, people don't show up to work for friends. And I know that there's a lot of objections to this one. I mean, there's a lot of you that say, yeah, of course, but there are people that have objections to this one and maybe think that it's fluffy or something. But the reality is that most people care about what's going on outside of the office more than they care about what's going on inside of the office. A lot of people have families, different relationships, hobbies, so many different things going on. And one of the things we say around here a lot is that proximity does not equal connectedness. So you may work with somebody every day, you have that proximity with them, but you could be disconnected. You might not actually know what's going on inside of their life. They could be struggling in some sort of relationship. Their parents could be getting older and struggling. I mean, I don't know what could be going on. But I do know that when people know that you care about them genuinely as a person, then having that authentic relationship will go a long way, and it's going to build a lot of trust, which then will lead into these other ones. And here as we talk about them, it is really hard to have these other ones when you don't have that authentic relationship. So how can we actually do that, though?
And the key word I think you said there is trust. Mm-hmm. Like it's very hard to develop trust without an authentic relationship. And there's a quote from Patrick Lencioni that I really love that encapsulates this idea of trust. He says, trust is the foundation of real teamwork. And so the first dysfunction of a team is a failure on the part of the team members to understand and open up to one another. And if that sounds touchy-feely, let me explain, because there's nothing soft about it. It's an absolutely critical part of building a team. In fact, it's probably the most critical, meaning that authentic relationships lead to trust. Trust leads to teamwork. And so it's very important for you to have it, because without it, you don't have trust, which if you don't have trust, you don't have a team. And if you don't have a team, you're not going to deliver results. Good luck with that. And so how do we activate it? Here's some ideas. These are things that I know we do here at WildSpark, and we would highly recommend, but these are just ideas to get your brain moving. So here are 4 things that you can think about. Number 1, have a one-on-one, please. Have a one-on-one with your team every week and spend some time during that one-on-one to connect relationally with the other person. I know that the tendency in a one-on-one is to jump right to work. And maybe that's the most important thing you need to talk about. But there's also ways that you can ask questions that allow you to develop a relationship within the context of your one-on-one. And so just take time, carve time out to be able to talk and ask questions like, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you doing personally? Or what's going well outside of work? What are you excited about that's going on outside of work? What's been the challenge over the last week? And just see what people say, and you will get a lot of insight from that. 2 is, and we do this here at WildSpark, is we have a thing called story lunches. For every new hire that comes in, we carve out 30 minutes to 60 minutes for them to share their story. And this isn't a walk through the resume. They can do that. I guess they can do that if they want, but this is, who are you? Who are you? What makes you tick? What's your story? What led to get you to where you are today as part of our company? So we do story lunches. Another one is get outside of the 4 walls that you work in. Or if it's virtual, get outside of your Zoom wall. Encourage some ways to get connected. Go to lunch. Go get coffee. Go bowling. Go do something as a team that allows you to get into a different environment to be able to build authentic relationships. And then the last one I'll say is that you probably have people that you don't interact with as much, and you could personally invite 1 or 2 of those people to a lunch where you can share your personal stories, or you can share things. There are all kinds of tools out there to help facilitate or activate a conversation that will allow you to get a little bit deeper than below the surface. And you'll be surprised at how much you have in common with other people if you'll just ask the questions. And so the first pillar, if you want an extraordinary team, is you have to develop authentic relationships. The next one is you have to commit to a common goal, and we'll talk about that one tomorrow.